One of the most important storytelling concepts I've learned in the last few years is that of the why story. The why concept has been popularized by Simon Sinek. If you're not familiar with Simon, get his book, Start With Why. Also check out his TED Talk. It's a powerful support of why we should be telling why it is we do what we do. Simon Sinek is spelled S-I-N-E-K, by the way. Another gentleman who has impacted me with regard to selling is a gentleman named Jeff Bloomfield. He wrote a book called Story-Based Selling. Highly recommend that book also. But here's the bottom line with the message that I've picked up from these two gentlemen. There are three benefits to telling people why you do what you do. Number one is it helps you get focused. When you know the deep down reasons, and I'm not talking about money or prestige, there are reasons that drive you to do what you do. When you can find a story that ties into that, it makes you attractive to people. You connect with them on a deeper level, and that's the second benefit, creating an emotional connection with the listener. This goes beyond, let's just take an example in the financial world. It goes beyond selling people mutual funds or retirement plans or college education plans. This connects with people on a deep-seated level of why you care about them. You want them to succeed. It will connect. The third reason is it will help you stand out. Despite all the research and all the new training in the 21st century about why we should move away from data and statistic-based presentations that are 58 pages long and 112 PowerPoints, most salespeople are still bombarding others with this type of information. And they all get lumped together. People don't make decisions because it all becomes a jumbled mess. When you can tell an effective story that grabs people's attention, keeps their interest, you will compel them to take action, and you will definitely stand out from the crowd. Storytelling helped me double and sometimes triple my business and my financial planning business when I was doing that. Here's a short story for you that will help you understand the power of the why. In 2015, I had the great privilege of working with Cincinnati TEDx. One of the speakers they assigned to me was a well-known Hall of Fame NFL football player. In getting to know him, we talked about his reason. What was the point he was trying to make? What was the message he wanted to leave with the audience? And he told me it was move forward with what you've got. And I love that concept. I thought it was very effective. And then I asked him, well, where did you learn that? His immediate response was, well, Michael, I learned that from my high school baseball coach. He was very instrumental, and he kept going on, and I finally stopped him. I said, that's not where you learned it. Now, this is a very nice man. But for a moment, when I cut him off, I had this flash of fear that I thought, oh my God, I just told an NFL Hall of Famer he was wrong. I hope he doesn't have a flashback to his playing days and plow me into the ground. Fortunately for me, he's a very nice man. He didn't do that. But he was curious. He looked at me when I cut him off and he said, well, what do you mean, Michael? I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so rude. I said, your baseball coach didn't teach you that lesson. He reinforced it. You learned that somewhere earlier in your life. And he thought about it for several seconds. And he finally said, oh, Michael, it was my mom. My mom taught me that. I said, great. Tell me more. What happened? He said, when I was a kid, I was one of 5. And we grew up in part of the town that wasn't very good. It was really tough upbringing. And we didn't have a lot of money. So mom would say things to us like, listen, I can't buy you new shoes all the time. You're going to have to make do with what we've got. Get newspaper, get cardboard, put them in the bottom. You got to make them work. We got to move forward with what we've got. When we tore holes in our jeans, she'd send us to Walmart, and we didn't just get the iron-on patches. We'd iron them on, but we had to sew them on. She said, you've got to reinforce this and make it as strong as possible. Move forward with what you've got. And once he told me that story, I said, oh, that's perfect. That is the story. Your why to move forward with what you've got is what will connect you to the audience. See, those 800 people are not going to relate to you as an NFL Hall of Famer. They will relate to you as someone who had some struggles in childhood and who had a mom that imprinted an important message. Developing the talk from there was easy. So what that talk enabled him to do was to stand out from the other speakers that day. It also helped him stand out as a former athlete, somebody that we could relate to. He clearly made an emotional connection. So if you want to stand out from all the other salespeople in your industry, develop your why story. Take a hard look at what your core values are, and then go deeper. Ask yourself, where did I learn this? Who taught me? Usually it's a parent or grandparent. And then think about stories like the football player I mentioned, whose mom taught them about moving forward with what you got when it came to clothing, shoes, jeans. They don't have to be elaborate stories, just simple, relatable stories that highlight or emphasize the message that you're trying to get across to the audience. Tell your why, and you will stand out, and you will definitely make a deep emotional connection with others. I look forward to talking with you in the next tip.